Yeah, 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 yeah. Step into the bayou where the chatter gets wild. Truth served fresh with a wink and a smile. From gators to gumbo, it's a party. Let's sing. Welcome to the show. It's Bada Bing. We got flavors of the South with a 90s vibe. Stories roll deep and the beats arrive. Grab a seat, feel the heat, let the good times flow. It's the Bayou Jammin', ready, set, go. Bada Bing, Bayou. The stories unfold where the swamp's alive and the truth is bold. Tune in, lean in, the vibe's so dope. Bayou beats in your ear, we the crew you'll quote.
Ciao tutti.
Or as we say in Louisiana, hey y'all.
My name is Patrick Ross Campisi.
And I'm Lawrence Joseph Ingraffia.
And you are listening to
The Bada Bing Bayou Podcast.
Lawrence, this is a special episode.
This is a very special episode.
Why is that?
Because it's saucy.
Oh, for more than one way.
That's right.
More than one way. But you have been waiting on this episode for a long time.
I have been waiting on this episode a long time.
We've done this one before in a draft and realized we got to go back and do it again because we did not do it justice, and we want to make sure we give you the best experience for this specific episode.
The absolute best experience.
So today we're going to dive into dating in Italian America.
So buckle up, buckaroos.
Before we dive into the Italian American side, I think we should take a 30,000 view of just like dating in the modern
world. Yeah,
because
no.
you and I, we have our approach. I think is a little bit more traditional.
I would agree with that.
With a modern twist, right?
Yeah.
So I would say, like, we're old school. Whenever we're setting a date, what's the only way you set a date? For the men out there.
For the men out there listening to this, and then ladies, if your man doesn't do this or the guy that you like doesn't do this, I'm not saying he's not worth your time, but there's probably a better man out there. You call her.
You call her. You
Yeah.
ever watch It's Always Sunny?
Yeah, that's right. God, I forgot about that. But yeah, no,
You gotta call him.
You got to call him.
The phone is for what?
The phone is for setting dates.
Exactly.
It is not for becoming someone's pen pal.
No.
Like, you're going to friend zone yourself from the jump if all you do is communicate via text message.
Exactly. You set the date. And look, I mean, nowadays, because we were going to talk about this a little bit earlier, people don't call anymore.
No, they don't.
To order food, you really don't have to call anymore.
No, you
to,
have.
to
There's
buy plane
there's
tickets.
5 apps for everything now.
Yeah, buy plane tickets. You don't have to call.
No.
To get a hotel, you don't have to call.
Nope.
So there's a lot of that anxiety and fear of even just like picking up the phone. But there's also excitement. Like if you see somebody you haven't talked to in a while, pop up on your phone, and they're calling you. One, you're like, "What's going on?"
Right.
And then you also get to hear their voice, and it's so much, I think, of a better experience in a conversation because you get to hear what they're saying.
Well, certainly, it's more genuine. I feel that it's more organic because, you know, with text messaging, you'll find, and this is just human nature, but the way text messaging is, you find yourself in a situation where you read something, you process it, and then you have all the time in the world to sit there and contemplate what you want to reply back. Whereas with a phone call, it's instantaneous, right? So I think that you miss a lot if you're strictly using text messaging.
Yeah. Yeah, so you call them, you set the date. As the man, you set the date. You say, you know, I'll pick you up at this time or meet me at this place at this time.
That's right.
And you've got the date planned out.
You got the date planned. You don't tell her where you're going.
If you're picking her up.
If you
Meet me at the corner of LA 75.
We should have qualified that. You tell her when to be ready.
Yes. What to wear.
What to-
That's a big thing. That's
Well,
a big thing.
I don't-
not specifically,
Yeah, you don't-
but like you say
This is what I'm gonna wear.
Yeah, what I'm going to wear. In
This is the
attire.
dress code.
Because
You let her-
I'm not a woman.
No.
But understanding from having talked to them, they are like, oh my God, there's 1,000 things in my closet, all the combinations they could do.
Yeah.
What can I choose from this? What should I choose? I don't want to be overdressed.
Exactly.
They want to get it right.
You want to get it
So
right.
Just help them out. Tell them.
Help them out.
Give them the attire.
But don't tell them if you're going to a restaurant, if you're going to a bar, you're picking her up. You don't tell her where you're going. Why? do you?
Yeah, why?
You know why?
Why?
Because you want to build the anticipation for the date. And she will inevitably ask you, because this happens all the time, she will inevitably ask you, where are we going?
If y'all, like, let's say you go pick her up. She
Yeah.
gets in the car.
She gets
the
in the-
first question. Or not necessarily the first question, because, like, if it's the first date.
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you're
yeah.
Like, oh, hi, how are you?
Uh-huh.
3 minutes in. So where are we going?
So where are we going? And then this is when you flip it and you say, that's for me to know and you to find out.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Or you could say, you'll know when we get there.
I don't know when we get there.
And they hate that.
But they love it.
But they do love it.
Yeah, it's a love-hate
They don't want to
relationship.
admit it, but they
don't
love
wanna
it.
admit Yeah, they don't want to admit it.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. So, I mean, that's really like the foundational points, right?
Well, it is, yeah.
Because after that, the date goes where the date goes.
Date
As
goes
a
where the day
conversation,
goes.
Great. If not, then like maybe y'all aren't compatible.
Maybe not.
We're not here to be what is it, Valentine? Or
That's right. Queso.
Cupid. We're not here to be Cupid. For you,
No.
right? So that's like the foundation of just like dating.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we've had experiences in the past, whether dates have gone awry or they've been good dates.
We certainly have.
But before we dive in to really what the Italian American element is, because for us, I think our culture even it bleeds into the dating experience. Like my go-to every first date is
certainly
going to be
does.
a what type of restaurant?
Red
Italian.
gravy.
Yeah, you're gonna have Italian. You gotta have Italian. It's romantic, but also like I want a good veal parmesan.
Oh, dude.
I like a good veal parmesan. So
Say less.
I'm gonna go. If I know I'm gonna like something, they're gonna like it too.
Mm-hmm.
So, before we go into the Italian side, Italian American side, dating outside of the culture. Let's dive into that a little bit, because that is a fine balance.
No, it is.
To
It is.
understand.
It is. And it's funny you bring this up, because speaking of dating outside of the culture, my mother, not to disparage this beautiful, awesome woman in any way, but she has made comments to me in the past, because she's like, "You're so freaking picky, Lawrence. There's so many nice girls out there. You don't think you're going to turn them off because you're trying to be Mr. Italian America?" I said, "Mom," I was like, "my culture is part of who I am. So you don't think you're going to scare them away?" I said, "Jen," I said, "if it scares them away, they ain't the one for me."
That's right.
And, but I will say this, though, and I explained this to my mother, because dating outside of the culture, there are a lot of things that, in my own experience from dating outside of the culture, that I kind of want to say like frighten a lot of women, because they come into a situation like they don't understand the Italian family dynamic, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing else quite like it.
Yeah, it can be a lot if they are not in the culture and you don't prep them.
That's right.
It can be a big shock for them.
It can be. And in the past, for both, my brother and I, some of the girls that he and I have dated who met the family, they have described our family as exhausting. Mm-hmm. They have described us. They all think we're loud and we're yelling at each other. I'm like, we're not yelling at each other. We just talk very loud.
Yeah.
But yeah, like exhausting, So I mean, that's something you need to contend with and be cognizant of.
Yeah.
Because you don't just date the guy or the girl; you date the family.
You date the family. You don't to take it a step further. You don't just marry the guy or the girl.
That's
you
right.
Marry
You
the
marry
family.
the family.
Do your due diligence.
Mm-hmm.
Actually think about, like, this is a big step, a big decision. Be cognizant of that. Like, you want to get to know the person, of course.
Yeah.
Make sure that you are compatible, but you also need to make sure, like, am I compatible with the family? Are they compatible with my family? Like,
Oh, no, exactly.
It's just like in the olden times, like the families do, for the most part, especially if you're local, they do mold together.
Oh no, they do. They do. It's a blending of families. I think something else too that is worth mentioning is that there are some girls out there who, like, if you're passionate about a topic, like girls will pick up on that you're like passionate about a topic, and like if you want to nerd out about something, like own it, because they're going to appreciate that even more if it's like a quirk of yours. Like, I love dinosaurs. Okay.
Well, hold on. Which dinosaur would you be?
This is
It's a deep dive.
this is a very deep dive. So my favorite dinosaur and the dinosaur that I would be are two different animals.
Okay. Favorite.
Favorite is Tyrannosaurus Rex.
T-Rex, for those who might know him by his street name.
His street name, Tyrannosaurus Rex, apex predator of the late Cretaceous period. The name means tyrant lizard king.
Wow.
Yeah, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Saurus is lizard, Tyranno, tyrant, Rex, king.
Right, yeah.
Tyrant lizard king. But if I had to be a dinosaur,
Yes.
assuming I live to adulthood and I'm a mature adult male, I would want to be an Argentinosaurus.
Argentinosaurus.
It is, yes, it is. It's a sauropod.
Which is?
It's a titanosaur. It's long neck dinosaurs.
Okay.
Sauropods.
Longosaurus.
For the uninitiated, you might say that. But I would be a sauropod. It's a titanosaur, meaning they're the largest of the sauropods. So assuming I make it to adulthood, Patrick, I would have no natural predators.
Okay.
None.
Are you a vegetarian?
I am a vegetarian, though.
Okay.
That's
You're
okay.
A peaceful dinosaur.
I'm a peaceful dinosaur, and like no meat-eating dinosaur can F with me.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I not be that?
I'm gonna have to look up what an Argentinosaurus looks like.
Go pull up like an Argentinosaurus femur, and like there's a person standing next to it. They're dwarfed by it.
Okay.
Massive dinosaurs.
Argentinosaurus and Graphia right here.
It's pretty good.
That is.
I like that.
That's a nice name.
I like that. But yeah, back to what I was saying.
Yes. Yes. No more dinosaurs.
No more That's I could do a whole podcast on dinosaurs. Anyway, but no, if there's a quirk, if there's like a nerdy tendency you have, own it.
Yeah.
Like be authentic, be yourself.
It's gonna come out sooner or later.
It's gonna come out sooner or later. Just own it from the jump.
Because like if you're driving down the interstate and you see a billboard for dinosaurs and you're like, oh my god, dinosaurs.
Yeah, dude.
She's gonna be like, whoa,
All the time.
I didn't know you like dinosaurs. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, there it goes.
Exactly.
Comes
So
out.
just own it.
I do want to go back, just like we are, to dating in general.
Yeah.
And kind of lay some ground rules outside of just the calling and the setting the date.
Mm-hmm.
But like the other ground rules as a man in the dating world.
Yeah.
Right. So like 1, be a gentleman.
Always.
Right? Open the door for her when you bring her to the truck or car, whatever you drive.
Yeah.
Open the door for her. Pull out her chair when she sits down. She sits down first.
That's right.
When she goes up to the bathroom and comes back, you stand up and help her sit back down. Like gentlemanly things like
Gentlemanly things. You know, another thing too, and this permeates dating in all aspects. But when you're at the restaurant, you're talking about what y'all are going to order. A waiter comes to the table. You order for her because she'll tell you what she wants. You're like, oh yeah, we're going to do the calamari to start. She'll have the duck. I'll do the bruschelloni.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Why does that? Why do you say that?
Why do I say that? I don't know, Patrick. It's just something I do. What is your rationale behind why you do that?
I think it just makes the date flow better, right? They don't have to worry about that because the goal as the man to lead the date is for them to just have a good time.
That's true.
You know?
Girls just want to show up, look pretty, and have fun.
Exactly. Make it fun.
Make it fun.
Exactly. So be a gentleman, and that kind of falls into that.
Mm-hmm.
But also like listen.
Yeah.
It kind of falls on the gentlemanly thing as well. But you don't want to talk the whole time. It's not going to be a podcast of us just telling like how to date.
Date.
But this
No.
is us setting the foundation because it
Yeah.
just does permeate across all dating and the culture.
It does.
Culture and so
It certainly does.
But definitely like listen more than you talk. It's just a good habit to do. People
Oh, yeah.
that more, and you get to learn more about them. And again,
You do.
Your purpose is to find out, are you compatible with this?
That's
person at the
exactly
end of
it.
the day. Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Are there any other rules or guidelines you would say?
Any other rules or guidelines that I would say as far as dating goes? Yeah, don't treat wait staff like crap.
Yes, that is a big one.
That
As
is
somebody who has worked in, you worked.
You,
in
I
wait
have
staff.
too,
Yeah,
yeah.
or wait in the food service industry.
Uh-huh,
Yeah,
food service industry.
yeah, definitely. It's not fun being on because I've been on that side.
No.
when the guest, whatever you want to call him, the patron, is not nice, and that is not fun.
You want a girl to think you're an asshole outside of actually being an asshole? Treat wait staff poorly.
Yeah,
That's one of the first things they'll notice.
definitely. I mean, I'm aware of that anywhere I go.
Oh, yeah,
whether it be
man.
on a date or like a business lunch or business dinner, like you can tell a lot about a person based on how they treat the wait staff. Dating outside of the culture. Right?
Dating
Going
out-
back to this.
Yeah.
Dating outside of the culture, again, you have to prompt for the most part because they don't understand the culture. You have to prompt
That's right.
them whenever you're going in to meet the family. But you also need to understand, like, there's certain things that they're just not going to understand.
Right.
And you have to be prepared to, like, to mediate that.
No, you do.
Right.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do some explaining, but that's okay though, because like I said earlier, if you're passionate about the culture, own it.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Be authentic. So she'll pick up on that, and yeah, you're absolutely right. There will be probably a lot of explaining that you have to do, but that's okay because if you're being your authentic self, that may be the guy she wants. You may not be her type, but if nothing else, like you take the time, you explain the things, be patient.
Yeah.
Definitely be patient because there's a lot to unpack with dating, a guy or a girl into the culture, big Italian family.
But now getting into the culture.
Now getting into the
Because
culture.
this is when you really get to like pull out the stops and it makes it a little bit easier because they understand the culture.
They do.
Right. But like we've talked about this, and I think this is what prompted this discussion for even an episode was your ideal, or like in your mind, the go-to meal that you cook for a woman, because that is another thing.
Oh, yeah.
Cooking a meal for your date, that is always like one, it's fun.
It's so fun.
Especially if you like can incorporate them, help me out, sous chef, help me out with this. You actually make the dinner. If you're on a budget, it helps doing that.
It certainly does.
And it's just, I think it's a fun date as opposed to just going out.
I think so too. I think another thing too is like you get to show your creative side. Mm-hmm. People appreciate that.
Yeah.
Another thing too, there are, and I'm not knocking the guys that are not paisans that think grilling a steak and having asparagus and a baked potato is the end all be all of cooking your girl dinner. Mm-hmm. What I will say though is that the Italian Americans, we take it a step further.
I think we do.
Right?
Yeah.
So the last time I cooked a girl dinner, I had everything planned out. Mm-hmm. I researched like, okay, I was like, all right, let me start with the entree and work back, okay? Or, then whatever. So I'm like, all right, spicy rigatoni alla vodka with lobster. Mm-hmm. I figured out a wine that paired well with that. I said, okay, that's a little bit savory, a little bit heavier. So it's something that's kind of light and sweet, salt maybe. So for the appetizer, prosciutto and cantaloupe.
Mm-hmm.
Malone. But, for those of the ones that don't know what that is. And then I said, all right, you know what I'm going to do for dessert? Tiramisu.
Ooh.
Homemade. Everything was homemade.
You made the lady fingers?
I did not make the lady fingers, but yeah, made the Sauvignon, brewed my mocha pot, my coffee, my espresso, and yeah. So I mean that's the thing though, because that's something that the Italian people do. We will let you know that we care about you through food.
I mean, just the other day we went over to my parents' house, and my dad. It was like 9:00 at night.
Oh yeah.
He had made burgers. He had pork tenderloin for us.
That
and
pork tenderloin. I'm still thinking about it.
No, the burger.
My God.
With the Mickles pickles. If you can find them, Mickles pickles. That's the second best. This is their tagline. The second best pickle in the world, but I think it's the best. It's delicious. But to your point, as far as like the meal that you did, the meal I did most recently was like a 3.5, 4 course dinner. It was a lot of food. It was probably more than we needed. But I made
not you having leftovers.
Yeah, I always
what?
I learned from my dad. I cooked for like 50 people for myself. So I made first off homemade Italian bread. That my Aunt Viola's recipe. She was from Louisiana, moved up to Chicago, but it was her recipe that she would make anytime family would come over. My dad still talks about it, and this is a dense piece of bread. A lot of butter, more butter than you would ever think you need to put in it. They used margarine back in the day, but delicious. I mean, it's like a cake almost. Absolutely delicious. So that with penne alla matriciana.
Ooh.
Yes. And then we had braciole, meatballs, and Italian sausage all on the red gravy. And then we had some almond cake from this little Italian grocery store that was in the area because I could never make it. I'm not a baker. We've talked about this.
We've talked about this. You're not a baker.
Absolutely delicious, paired with a Chianti.
That sounds divine.
Yeah, it was a wonderful dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Cooked all day.
All day?
Yeah. But I mean, this whole weekend I was cooking because
I
just had like the itch to cook. I hadn't cooked in a long time. So like that morning I made croque madames. It's a French dish. It's basically
lost on me.
A ham sandwich with bechamel sauce on top and like a mustard sauce that you put in between the bread. And I use brioche. You toast that on either side. You get it nice and crispy. And then you put all of that in the oven. And then while that's cooking in the oven, you put that bechamel with some Gruyere on top, and it melts and it covers the entire thing. You take that out, and then you have an over easy egg you put on top.
Sounds like a lot of work for a French sandwich.
Dude, it is worth it every single time.
Bold statement coming from you. I'm going to have to try that out.
You have to.
Okay.
I mean, look, it's
All right.
probably like a 30-minute ordeal because you got to make the bechamel. I mean, it's a lot, but it is immaculate.
30 minutes to make a sandwich.
Trust me.
Okay. All right.
Because you can get it at the restaurants, and it's like, it's good, but everything is better homemade.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
So croque monsieur or croque madame. There's two different ones. The one madame has the egg on top. That is definitely something to try out.
Oh yeah,
For sure. Yeah, so that's my go-to. Again, it's a lot of work.
No, it is.
I had all day Saturday to do it.
That's fine. That's
why I
fair.
did it.
That's
but
fair.
it always helps to cook a homemade meal.
Oh God, yeah. That is. I mean, again, that's the greatest sign of affection, showing that we care. Is let us feed you.
Especially
Like, baby girl, you want to eat extra carbs? You want all the bread? You want all the pasta? Like,
bring it on.
do it. You want seconds? Go get them.
We got them.
I encourage it.
That's right.
I mean, really. Speaking of something like that, we talked about going to restaurants. I'll never forget. I was in law school. I have a cousin who's a nun. This is another thing about dating within the culture. You'll have a cousin who is a distant cousin who's a nun who's going to set you up on a date with
I have a
girl.
cousin who's a priest. I don't have a nun, but a priest.
Okay, I got a nun. You got a priest. I mean, like all we're
covered.
missing is a bishop and a deacon.
Yeah.
and then we're good. So she tells this girl who's an architect that oh hey, there's this nice Italian American boy. He's in law school. He's going to be an attorney, and I think y'all should meet, go on a date, whatever. So I pick her up. We're going to the Italian Barrel in the French Quarter.
Wonderful restaurant.
Right. A little bit of more northern Italian than anything, but fabulous restaurant.
Fabulous.
Patrick.
Lawrence.
We are seated. I help her to her chair. She wants the chair that is with her back to the wall. And the way we were situated, because you walk in that door, and you have like the little, I don't know, like divider, and then there's like the dining room over there.
Yeah.
So we're in that table right there on the other side of this divider. So she wants the chair with her back to the wall, which means I have the chair that's facing the door. Okay? So I help her to her chair. She sits down. I get seated. First words out of her mouth. She's like, "This is perfect." I said, "What do you mean it's perfect?" She goes, "My back's to the wall and you're facing the door." She's like, "No one's going to get us."
That's right. That's
I
right.
thought it was funny.
Yeah. No, I look, for me,
But like, here's the thing. Only an Italian American girl would make that comment.
I personally like having a full field of vision of exit points, just in case, God forbid, something were to happen. But like,
Yeah.
if something is to happen, I can't do anything with my back to the door. You know,
No,
if I
that's what
can
I'm
see
saying.
what's happening, then I can at least take control of my little situation.
I said you could flip over the table, come out blasting. You never know. It might happen.
Again, it's always sunny. So I just started blasting.
So I just started blasting.
Oh man, yeah. No, that is another. That's a quirk of mine.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess you
okay.
could call it a quirk. Could be a cultural thing. I don't know. Let us know in the comments. Or,
Yeah,
you know,
please let us know.
Yeah, reach out to us. But for me, that is definitely a quirk of mine. I have to have my back to a wall, basically, in a sense,
Oh,
where
yeah.
I can see all the vantage points, essentially.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt
Yeah.
about it. Patrick, what would you say is the ideal first date Italian? First, it's the ideal first Italian American date.
So,
What is it?
who? Now, there's like stages of it, right? Or
Right.
I guess, yeah, stages depending on like a certain threshold. Like if you don't know this person at all and you're like, all right, testing it out, maybe go get a drink first.
Right.
Right. Maybe it could be your typical watering hole or something in the middle if you're, I don't know, in a new city or whatever. But my go-to, especially when I lived here, was to go to an Italian restaurant that I knew well because I knew what was good on the menu. I knew
Yep.
what wasn't good. I also know the owners or I know the wait staff, so we get taken care of. Like most places are going to take care of you, but if you know somebody, if you know them, that you've developed a relationship, and again goes back to treating the wait staff right, you're going to build a relationship. It's just going to make the experience better. I think we talked about this before. Like what I love about a restaurant when I have that connection with them is I just sit down. They don't even hand me a menu, and they say the usual.
The usual.
The usual. And I say yes. Or if not, they at least will come up to me and like have rapport. And even if they're not, like the waiter is not at our table, he'll come from his other section and come say hey. And it just makes it feel like you're at home. And I think that's the biggest thing for that first date is you want it to be comfortable for both of y'all.
Right.
Now there is an excitement of going to a new place, and that's also a fun thing to do. But to answer your question, this is long-winded. The ideal first date, I would say, is an Italian restaurant. Reason being, you have steak if you want it. It's not a steak restaurant because that's like, if you're looking at open table, $3, $4, $5 signs, that's like $3 or $4 signs, right? Is this worth going to get steak? I don't know. If you want steak, go get it. But You go to an Italian restaurant, do $3 signs, you want to call it that. You can get steak. You can also get a pizza. Y'all can share something. Or you can get a veal parmesan. That's my go-to. There's so many options there. Typically you've got a good wine list.
You do.
You've got a good cocktail list if you're into that. Dessert. I mean, the whole thing is designed to be just a perfect experience for both of y'all.
I agree, and I've yet to meet a woman or even know a woman currently who doesn't just love tiramisu.
Yeah, tiramisu is a go-to.
But
What's also nice about Italian restaurants is it's not ultra fancy where you feel like you have to get super dressed up, but it gives you a reason. Everybody likes to get dressed up. It gives you a reason to get dressed up, and we talked about this when it comes to fashion and just presenting yourself well. La bella figura.
La bella
right?
figura.
You want to present yourself in the best light, especially on the first date. So that's like you knock all of the boxes off. You check all the boxes when you do that.
You do. You absolutely do.
Would you agree with that?
Well, I did. In the past, I had a first date that was rather unconventional for a first date.
Yes.
So, in law school, my grandmother fell ill and she ultimately passed away. God rest her soul. Yeah, but I had tickets to Andre Pacelli. Did not go to Andre Pacelli because I was
of course
going back to Hammond, right? So I knew that Andre Pacelli was coming back to New Orleans. So as soon as they announced that, this is when he would be, they announced the actual date that he would be in New Orleans. I was like, well, shit. I didn't have a girlfriend at the time. I bought 2 tickets. I was like, I'm going. I'll find someone to go with me.
It's Andre Pacelli, of course.
Of course, I'm not going to not go see Andre Pacelli, right? And as fate would have it, I had met a nice Italian-American girl, and we went on our first date to Andre Pacelli. And that was, I was like, I don't know how I could, I don't know how you top this in terms of, dating in the culture. You're going to Andre Pacelli.
Yeah.
Right? Because that is he is the most famous contemporary opera singer in the world.
Yeah. Everybody knows his name.
Everybody knows his name.
You ever see Step Brothers? You know Andre Pacelli.
That's right. You do. But yeah, I was like, isn't this fitting?
Yeah.
2 Italian-American kids, first dates, Andre Pacelli.
Didn't even go to dinner.
Yeah, no, just grabbed cocktails and a couple of bites at, where'd we go? Was it Hot Tin? Copper Vine. It was Copper Vine. And then just moseyed on over to
I think that's another thing just in dating in general is it doesn't have to be so structured.
No.
Right? It could be on the whim.
We're
going to go to a show. We're going to go to this. We're going to go to that. We'll get a drink. We'll get some bites. Or we could stay and all right, we don't want to go to the show. We're having such a good time here.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get a meal. But you put yourself, because you think ahead, you put yourself in a position where you actually can pivot pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
You can adapt in real time. Yeah. So, whether you're going to Andre Bocelli, which is really hard to top, or just your local Italian restaurant, I think those are the best places.
Probably right. I would say so too.
Yeah.
But
anywhere in between.
You know what's funny though about dating within the culture though?
What?
So when you date outside the culture, it's like, oh, what are you? Oh, I'm Italian. I'm Sicilian. When you date within the culture, and it's where's your family from?
Where's your family from?
When they ask you that question, obviously, we know that they are from what is now the country that is Italy. But they ask you that question. It's like, oh, my family is from Poggioreale, Sala Peruta, Trapani, Palermo, Vicari, Ventimiglia di Sicilia. And it's like, oh, I'm Napolitan. My family's from blah, 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 blah. I'm Calabrese. My family's from blah, 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 blah. And then it's like you start going up and down the family tree with
hoping that you don't have
hoping that there's not a relative. Yeah, my God.
Yeah.
But you know what else? Something too, and this is I think this is something that the older generation did as far as dating goes. But they would arrange marriages, right?
Have it in my family.
That's what I'm saying. They immigrated. They didn't really, you're trying to figure out, okay, I got to make this thing work. I'm in America. And there was a girl who DM'd me once, and she told me that her, great-great-grandparents immigrated from Agrigento. They both wound up in New Roads, and then, it was an arranged marriage.
Yeah, that happens.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe we'll have some arranged marriages today that we'll hear about.
We just might. I don't know.
Yeah. Never too late to fall back on tradition.
No, and never too late to fall back. And that's another thing too, because traditions are a huge part of the culture, right? So it's much more seamless and it's less daunting of a task when you're dating within the culture, because a lot of the traditions, even if her family, if they're not from that specific region in Italy where that tradition is prevalent, for instance, you and I are both Sicilian. San Giuseppe. That is the tradition of traditions 100%. For us, right? If you're dating a girl who is Calabrese, Abruzzese, Napolitan, okay, they're probably aware of St. Joseph's Day. They probably know the significance of St. Joseph, but it's going to be less intimidating for her to go in with the family and do all the, go to the altar and this and that and the other. Whereas if you were to, if you're dating a girl who's not Italian, you got to sit there and explain all these things. Oh, well, why does the altar have 3 tiers? Why do we have fava beans? This and that and the other. Whereas they're already aware of that. So it's much more seamless to bring them into it. Even if it's not exactly their family's tradition, they're at least aware of it. It's on their radar.
Definitely. And I think in a closing statement with this, that, well, we talked about from the male perspective. I can only give a little bit from my perspective as a PSA to the ladies out there, whether you're Italian or not, knowing about a little bit about the culture. So if we're Sicilian, learning about Sicilian culture, or learning about the food and the traditions that are surrounded around that. Like with my dad, if you can make some homemade cucinati or some homemade bread or whatever, any dish like that, and you bring it to him just unannounced, and say, I made this for you.
Oh my God.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, you're basically in the family. At that
Patrick, you never show up empty-handed.
That never show up empty-handed.
Can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's like 1,000 other things we could add to this list, but
we really could.
So as not to drone on, we're gonna end it here.
This
was there's a lot of information in this. If y'all have other thoughts, other ideas, other guidelines, whatever, your experience in dating both inside the culture and outside, please let us know. But with that, this has been the Bada Bing Bayou podcast. And my name is Patrick Ross Campisi.
And I'm Lawrence Joseph Ingraffia.
Ciao, y'all.
Y'all come back now.